The Knicks are on to the conference semifinals in the East. But how long can they run this way? Tom Thibodeau is known for running his guys into the ground when it comes to the regular season. But the postseason is no different. And stars win and stars matter in the playoffs. But when you look at the minutes that three guys in particular, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart have played in the playoffs so far, you look at it, for Brunson, it's been 38, 45, 44, 51 minutes in that overtime game, and then 44 in the closer. Anunoby, 37, 39, 47, 50, 45, and then Josh Hart, 48, 43, 46, 53, 46 minutes.
Just as a reminder, there's 48 minutes in a game. And the rankings as it stands right now, the Knicks have the first, third, and seventh minutes per game leaders in the playoffs. Josh Hart is number one at 46.4. Jalen Brunson, third at 43.8. OG Anunoby, 41.6. Both Brunson's and Anunoby's would both be higher had they not taken knocks and had to leave the game to get checked on. Otherwise, they're probably both at 45.
We know rotations shorten in the playoffs, and stars drive the best teams into the conference finals and the NBA finals. But can they afford to have a rotation as short as last night, where you only saw 7 players play at least a minute or more? You had like Obi Toppin, or Obi's brother. What's his name? Come on. Jacob Toppin. You had the other Toppin brother, Washington and Brown, play less than 1 minute in that game. So officially did not get DMPs. But Mitchell Robinson and Miles McBride are the only other players to even play in that game. And Robinson played 18 and McBride played 9. Is that sustainable as the playoffs wear on? Because if these series do extend out, like, they do have the luxury of not playing until Monday when the Eastern Conference semis start. But can they do this in the conference semis and the Eastern Conference finals if they get there?
This is the quote from Pat Riley from when he was a coach. Use 8, rotate 7, play 6, and trust 5. That is how you coach in the playoffs. The Knicks are essentially a guy short, which with Mitchell Robinson being banged up and Julius Randle being out is what you're really looking at. Because if they had Julius is playing 40 a night. And that severely alters your minutes right now. And then obviously things look a lot better. You have less. Brunson's still getting 40 plus. Hart's probably still getting 40 plus. Randle and OG are probably getting 40 plus. But you're sprinkling the other guys in a lot more liberally because you can have one more guy on the floor at any given time. But that's really their issue. Will it hurt them against the Pacers? Probably not. But I look at if you're the Pacers and you're finding a way to kick that door open, they weren't exactly running up and down the court in Knicks 76ers. The Pacers are going to give you probably 20 plus more possessions per game. If they're having trouble running up and down the court, even if there's a talent deficit, that might be the way that Indiana can make this a puncher's chance of an outcome of pushing this thing out or even stealing it. I don't think they can, but if they get hot, which they did against the Bucks, and we'll talk about that series. My God, did they get hot in that game? If they start just raining threes and that tempo gets pushed, that extra body or lack of that extra body for the Knicks might come back to bite them. That's the one opening I see for them to fall on their face.
And it's like Carlisle plays 9. I mean, that's who he is. It's been to his detriment. Mm-hmm. At times, probably got him fired in Dallas, but also what got him to win a title back in 2011.
Yeah.
And also, he'll run all the bodies out all series long,
unless it's Jalen Brunson.
Which is what
led to some. There's going to be some storylines. One of the ones that's not going to be talked about all the time is, it's Carlisle against his former player, but it's like, It's Carlisle against his former player who does not like him because Brunson was sat down in the final 2 games after being one of the top 6 men in the league that year before Carlisle was fired.
I think that one thing, along with Tibbs running these guys out for so many minutes, is it's the player matters a ton. And the 3 guys that are playing those exorbitant amount of minutes, Josh Hart just has that kind of motor. And it's not like you're taking these ultra explosive players who are playing above the rim a whole hell of a lot and playing them for 44 plus minutes. You're taking guys that are just grinders, kind of that Villanova style, right? Where they're just going to grind you out, and that's what they're used to doing.
Or just taking Villanova players in general.
Yeah, and but that is how that's how they played in college.
Yep.
That's the kind of mentality that they had coming through. And I think OG Anunoby's like, man, I should have gone to Villanova. You know, he probably would have fit really well there.
He might not have torn his knee at Villanova.
Yeah, he would have been really damn good there. But I think that you pick and choose the players that you do it with, and I applaud the New York Knicks. In spite of James Dolan, they are finding a way to build a roster that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense to how their coaches and to accentuate the players that they already have. That Anunoby trade, we may look back on it when we hit the Eastern Conference Finals as, and look, there's a lot of teams that can say this. The Indiana Pacers can say it too with Pascal Siakam. How many meaningful in-season trades did we have this year?
What's really interesting is
actually the Raptors giving up all their good players.
That's what I was just going to say.
What the hell is going on in Toronto?
So it's almost like, maybe they gave up way too much, way too late.
It's only if the Blazers could have got OG Anunoby.
And I've seen some people, some Blazers fans, kind of revisiting that lately. Of like, well, the Blazers didn't offer enough, folks. The offer that they made better than the one they ended up getting. I will tell you that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
They did not. Both the trades for Pascal and OG ended up being 70 cents on the dollar.
Now, are we talking, because those rumors, they overlap the O'Shea era and the Cronin era with both of those players, because Siakam in Portland and OG in Portland, they've been linked for half a decade now.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably more than that. We probably go pre-pandemic. We go
O'Shea
2018.
O'Shea never really talked about either of those guys in that sense. The OG thing was more about him bungling 2017 and things that he messed up. He didn't really like talking about. Weirdly enough.
Oh, no way.
Weirdly enough.
Just take a long drink of his water.
Yeah. But there was 2 straight off seasons with the Blazers where they went after OG. They 100% did. And the offers that were on the table were better than what they ended up getting for him.
Oh.
Yeah. Turns out RJ Barrett, okay, go with that. Go with God. $130 million of RJ Barrett.
Not great, Bob. Not great, Bob.
As much as I like Quickly, it's like, you had to take dead money to figure it out, man.